Hi, I'm Dustin. I'm the coordinator for the Thrive Together mental health campaign here in Stanislaus and San Joaquin County. Thrive Together campaign I know was a SpearNet. The SpearNet had already started a youth council, and they really sort of were the initiators of what the grant was going to look like, what the campaign was going to look like, what they were going to do with the funding. And then when I came on, I was sort of tasked to sort of get all of that together and start to develop more of like the meat and potatoes of the campaign and what that would look like in Stanislaus and San Joaquin counties.
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm the Social Media and Youth Advisory Council coordinator for the Thrive Together campaign. The Youth Advisory Council played a really big role in shaping the Thrive Together campaign, especially in comparison to your more traditional adult-led campaigns. Really mainly because they had their hand in every single part of this campaign from the beginning. Like, we built this campaign from the ground up together. I feel like youth are looking for a safe space to be able to connect with others, to share their stories, to share their thoughts, and have that really be well received and nurtured.
Hey, I'm Fatima. I'm part of the Thrive Together Youth Advisory Council. I help with the social media aspect and also with going to conferences and speaking about our campaign and presenting about our campaign and sharing how the campaign has helped me personally and professionally.
I go to these meetings twice a month, and since the beginning of the campaign, we have decided everything from the slogan, the name of the campaign, to like what video should be posted, the editing, and anything that needs to be changed, or like what we want to see in our social media, what we want the youth to see, are things that are like really common right now with mental health for teens and young adults, and we want them to know that they're not alone and that we are here to help.
Hi, I'm Zara. I'm a part of Thrive Together Youth Advisory Council. So my role is working towards the social media part and also doing outreach for our campaign and attending conferences. So when it comes to the outreach, I have done a lot, like tabling events and going to schools, giving out the flyers for our campaign, attending conferences, and also talking to a lot of young adults and giving them more information regarding our campaign and regarding mental health if they do have any questions, and also if they need something, giving them the right resources.
The type of things we discuss in the youth advisory meetings is how we are posting things in our social media when it comes to depression, anxiety, social media scrolling, and more. That's our main concern when we are in the meetings, but also more of like, how can we reach more young people? What other things we can do to make this campaign reach teenagers and young adults?
I'm Josiah, and I'm a part of the Thrive Together Youth Council. What I enjoyed most about the campaign was being able to personalize the content that I produce, such as the How Do You Thrive videos and the voiceovers, adding my own vocal twist to it.
Hi there, and welcome back to the Thrive Together Mental Wellness Campaign. Today, we're building on the skills you learned with the grounding breath exercise.
I was able to make it from the heart, and also being able to make it, instead of being a one-size-fit-all type of video, like adding my own twist to everything to it.
What's up, everyone? Today, we're tackling a big one, building self-worth beyond social media.
When people say you're lazy, they don't always know the full story.
For producing the voiceovers for the campaign, it was an interesting process, being able to figure out my vocal tone and also being able to figure out how I would listen to it myself.
You think we're pulling away, but most of us are hoping you'll pull closer. You think we're pulling away, but most of us are hoping you'll pull closer. 42% of U.S. high school students report persistent sadness or hopelessness. You think we don't want help, but half of us never get any at all. More than 50% of youth with mental health needs receive no treatment.
It was all around just an amazing experience.
Hi, my name is Jada Allred, and I helped co-write the Teen Wellness Workbook. It really was a meaningful experience for me because not only was I working with such a passionate mentor, but I already am so invested in mental health and helping others understand what mental health is and helping them address their own mental health concerns. So it was really just unlike anything I had ever done before. Contributing directly to an entire workbook was just different than any other experience I've had, and seeing my contributions in a whole book that's printed out was crazy. So it was a great experience for sure. I would say this process did change how I viewed important mental health practices because it helped me realize how much of a demand there is for kids who need access to mental health resources.
Many of the students who look like they have it all together on the exterior are actually the ones struggling the most on the inside.
The pressures young people face today can weigh heavily on them, and sometimes they'll bury or suppress these feelings.
Nearly 1 in 5 students report being bullied at school. And that can completely change how a student shows up.
I hear kids say, "I don't want to disappoint anyone." That pressure builds up, especially in teens who seem responsible or high functioning. Just because they're performing doesn't mean they're okay. One of the most powerful things families can do is create space. Space where young people don't feel judged or feel pressured to have everything figured out. That might look like slowing things down, fewer activities, more unstructured time, or just being present without an agenda.
What we know is this: students who are connected to even one trusted adult are significantly less likely to experience poor mental health.
And connection isn't just helpful, it's actually protective, and it changes outcomes.
Across Modesto, Turlock, Manteca, Tracy, and Stockton, this message is reaching our community with over 1.7 million projected theater plays, bringing awareness, connection, and support to our communities.
We're crying out. So hear the call for help. 50% of California youth report struggling with mental health, hoping someone asks why. Let's start healing by revealing. We need safe spaces, but faces that care. You educators can support us. You friends can show up.
And somehow, nobody notices until it's too late. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for Californians ages 10 to 24. Do you know how many of us are barely holding on? How many cries when nobody's around? We are drowning in plain sight, and we're begging you, stop looking away. Check in.
You've probably seen us 1,000 times, walking into class, headphones on, smiling like nothing is wrong. But here's what you don't see. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for Californians ages 10 to 24. People say we're resilient, but resilience isn't the same as being okay. And too many of us are pretending just to get through the day. If you really want to help us, don't wait until we fall apart. Listen when the signs are small. Notice the silence. Notice the change. Notice us. Because the truth is, we're not asking for miracles. Just someone who sees what we've been carrying alone. That is why Aspirina is working to support young people across the Central Valley through the Thrive Together campaign. Learn more at aspirina.org/thrive.
I guess the things that I'm on now, I'm on a bus ad in Turlock and Merced. It's pretty cool. I'm also gonna be in a video that's gonna be shooting in the movie theaters, which is gonna be very cool. It feels amazing. It's a surreal feeling because at the end of the day, I'm actually giving input to, and that input makes an impact. And I feel like just the fact that I'm able to, use my voice, and I'm able to use my words, just to actually make an impact from someone else, it feels amazing. It's a feeling that I can't really describe, but it's awesome.